Welcome to the channel, guys. Sean here again. We're going to take a quick break from ETFs. I think we have really kind of studied that subject, talked about a few ETFs. We're going to check back in on those in a few more videos. But for now, I just wanted to get back to some other subjects that we've touched on this channel, including Air Canada, because there's been a few updates since the last video I made. I'll leave a link to that right here, but let's talk about that. So I've held the stock for about a year now, probably bought it a little too early, kind of picked this up just as the COVID thing was starting in Asia, but before it became a worldwide issue. So I actually bought the stock after Air Canada went down to $39. I later bought it when it was really low at $19 to average out at $29. And I've basically been holding ever since. So what's been going on with Air Canada? What am I doing with my investments? I did move it around a little bit. I'll just get into all of that in this video, and I'll give you guys an update right after this. So welcome back, guys. If you're new here, my name is Sean. I'm doing videos on my journey to financial freedom. So if you like personal finance and investing topics with a bit of a Canadian twist, you found the right place. Please consider subscribing. So what has been going on with Air Canada, and what am I doing with this investment? And is this turning out to be a long-term commitment that I don't really like? And yeah, it pretty much is. It's like being stuck with a awful roommate. So Air Canada, despite bleeding $1 billion every 90 days, Air Canada has still managed to have $8 billion in unrestricted liquidity. And knowing their sort of operating burn rate, you could say they have about 6 to 8 quarters left of money before it kind of runs out and they're in serious trouble. So that's how long they can really afford to stay alive in this. They've actually done well to secure that cash and put themselves in a good position to make it out of this whole COVID mess when that does come. Now, 6 weeks ago, Air Canada did reduce its workforce by another 1,500 people and took away 17 more routes, and they're really just shrinking down, trying to keep their operating costs as low as possible. So they're really a smaller company now than they were a year and a half ago. The other thing worth mentioning is their CEO, Calin Rovinescu, I hope I said that right, ended up retiring last month. So that always gives you a little bit of uncertainty at the company when your CEO isn't there to guide you through it. But despite all of that, the stock is actually up. Since the last time I recorded a video, the stock was at 23 bucks. It actually dipped a little bit after that, but then went up to $29. Now it's at about $27.30 since recording this video. But why is that? I mean, companies either need to be growing or profiting in order to have good stock performance, typically, and Air Canada is doing neither. Well, one of the biggest things you can learn, or that I've learned about investing, is, well, the stock price isn't always reflective of what's going on in the company and the fundamentals of the company. The reason we're seeing a rise in stock price is just optimism that Air Canada is going to be getting back to normal soon as vaccinations are getting rolled out, case numbers are, let's just say they're steady right now. We're seeing investors getting in on Air Canada thinking like this could be a good short-term buy. And that's something that's kind of troubling, is that I think a lot of people that are investing in Air Canada right now are expecting it to pop back up to $50 a share. But that may not happen in the short term. It may take a couple years for this stock to recover. Remember that you're probably going to want Air Canada to post some profits. They're going to have billions of dollars in debt that they have to pay back as well. But what I've been kind of learning about the stock market recently is there are a lot of people out there just trying to get rich quick, and they may have found Air Canada and thought to themselves, well, this is probably going to pop back up right away. But it's the long-term holders that are really going to benefit, I think. Now, on top of all of this, the government has also started talking about talks about a bailout for the airlines here in Canada. Just the talk is enough to bring that stock price up a little bit, even though nothing has been finalized yet. But that would definitely be a good thing for Air Canada. I mean, cash is always a good thing to have in times of uncertainty. So there's a lot actually going on in favor of Air Canada's market price right now, but like I say, be prepared to hold on for the long term. So there's a lot going in Air Canada's favor as far as stock price right now, but just be prepared to hold on for a while. It may be a year till we see a $40 market price here, which is probably where I would look to exit, but that's just me personally. Everybody has different goals for this. All right, so here is what I did with the stock. I really did want to hold on to it because I really did believe that the stock was going to recover. Now, this next part was just more to do with the timing and some of my goals for this year. But what I did was, with the stock price depressed to about $21, I ended up shifting it over to my RRSPs. In doing so, I was able to get a credit for the loss that I took on it, as well as contribute to my RRSPs and kind of maximize my tax return this year. However, I did really feel it was going to come back, so I put it in an RRSP because my goals for everything in that portfolio are long-term. So however long it was going to take, I decided I'm just going to hold on to Air Canada till it hits my target. At the time of recording this video, my position is about $4,900 as the stock has come up since then, but I won't break even on this investment until we hit $29 and then, go beyond that. But the idea is, again, to hold this for the long term. When it hits my price target, cash out and buy something else in my RRSP with that money, probably an ETF of some kind, and let the money continue to grow. Now, my outlook on Air Canada right now is actually more cautious. Just looking at the way the investments and stock market has gone in the last year, and kind of mentioning a lot of investors are looking for that short-term gain. There might be a lot of people in on Air Canada right now looking for that short-term pop in price. And so I'm expecting a recovery from Air Canada for sure, but it might be more volatile than I was expecting, especially if folks who wanted to catch that rebound find it's taking a little too long and start to exit their positions. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I do feel that eventually I'll hold on to this long enough to ride out any waves. And what I do when things are uncertain is I basically just have a plan. So my plan is probably to exit around the $40 mark. When I hit that, I'm just going to be selling my position. I might want to keep a little bit, who knows if I think it might continue, but I'm going to sell most of my position at that point and use the money to grow somewhere else. So there you go, guys, a quick and dirty video, a quick and dirty update on Air Canada, what I plan to do with it. Are you guys still holding the stock? Are you thinking about investing? Let me know in the comments what you guys are doing with your position in Air Canada, if you have one or if you're thinking about it. It's always a great discussion, but till then, have a great week, guys. Spread the wealth. We'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.